I would agree with really all of that. In my experience, I think the police have become more militarized over the 15 years I've been doing this work. I think there's more of what I call a bunker mentality. When they walk out of the police department, they've been filled up with any stop could be your last stop, any encounter could be the person that kills you. You know, the whole world could come to an end if you kick the wrong can or whatever. And I think officers walk out of that police station scared, and you'll never get them to admit that they're scared, but I think they are, because they're real human beings too. So I think I'd like to see them get a lot more training in talking to people, in just going out and learning how to talk their way out of situations. I think young officers should be assigned with experienced officers who are good at talking their way out of situations. I think that I agree with you on the weapons. The opportunity for less than lethal force is a little too tempting sometimes. I think police officers should get out of their cars more, engage citizens. And you know, Craig talked about how they can't come up and talk to you without reasonable suspicion. I don't think that's quite true. A police officer can't detain you without reasonable suspicion, but a police officer can come up and talk to you. Excuse me, do you have the time? I just want to stop you and tell you your fly's open.
I don't mind that. It's a stop, and they can't do that. It's a stop.
No, Craig, and don't interrupt me. Let me finish. It's not a stop if they just come up. You don't have to engage with them, but there's no reason a police officer can't say, how are you doing today? Nice to see you. Have you noticed anything up the block? Whatever. If you're willing to sit and talk with them, and I hope citizens would be, because they're regular people. And I think those kinds of encounters they're clearly perfectly legal. There's a doctrine called the community caretaking standard that allows police officers, in fact expects police officers to stop and help motorists who are stranded by the side of the road, to offer advice, to offer their services that have nothing to do with a criminal prosecution. I think more of that would enhance that sort of relationship. And in terms of a college degree, and I'm all for education generally, but in my experience, I think some of the finest cops I've known, and I really gravitate to the people who, I think police officers get better results when they're polite. There used to be a guy on the Missoula police force who was so polite, he drew a motion to suppress a confession he took where they argued that he was too nice.
That was my case.
Was it?
My case.
It was a great case. And you know, you're more successful by talking your way out of it. So, and I don't think, and that officer, Rich, does not have a college degree either. I think some of the officers that I think have been the best at that sort of thing don't have college degrees, so I wouldn't require it.
Now.
Well, you know, I guess I'll start on the college degree. I think I've met plenty of really smart, nice, intelligent, compassionate people that don't have college degrees, so I don't think that should be a requirement at all. Trust me, I'm wearing a badge, carrying a gun, and I'm here to help you. You know, I mean, ask yourself, it'd be a nice thing, I think. It'd be a nice thing. I really would. I think that's a nice idea, and I'd like to see that, where an officer is down there, downtown, and they come up and you chit-chat a little bit. It's friendly. It'd be, come on in. Yeah, I mean, I had an officer in my neighborhood. He came up for a coffee about 10 years ago. It was nice, you know? It's a nice thing. But what I'm saying is, if an officer comes up and says, hey, your fly's down, what just say was it? The fly? Your fly's open. You thank him, and then close it, zip it up, and I don't know. An officer walks up to you, it's a stop. Now you can engage him. Maybe he's lonely, he wants to talk. That's fine. Chit-chat. That's a great thing. Talking, communicating. Building some bridges. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing illegal for the officer to do that at all. They're human. But then when you start saying, how's the drug problem back where you're from? You might want to wonder, you might want to think what road you're going down. I'm not saying that he's going to do that, but if he does, it's a stop, okay? I'm the defense attorney, he's the prosecutor. It's a stop. You can go ahead and engage in that stuff, that's fine. It would be a wonderful thing, I think, if we all could talk a little more. And I'll tell you what, and I've known Jim for 20 years, if there were more officers like Jim, we wouldn't be here right now. Let's face it. And I'm not just trying to blow smoke, I mean that. But the trouble is they aren't, okay? That's why we're here. So what do you do about it? I don't know.
Let me give you a brief example of effective communication obtaining results. Since it's late October, the story is applicable. And you haven't heard a war story yet, so. So it's Halloween night, and my partner and I, Gail Albert, I don't know if anybody knows Gail, he's a really nice guy. He doesn't have a college education either. We go to a disturbance at the Trading Post Saloon. Well, the Trading Post was a pretty wild place about 25 years ago. Disturbance, Gail and I roll up on Halloween, and there's probably 150 people in the parking lot, probably 20 actively fighting. And we're there, just two of us. And we rolled down our windows, and we both had on rubber masks. Mine was of some creature from the Black Lagoon, and his had eyes that lit up. Everybody started laughing. Everybody stopped fighting. We never even had to get out of the car.
So, more masks and less tasers. We need to invest in masks for the police department.